Well, good to have you with us here on the Sunday edition of the show. It's been 45 years since Soweto students rose up against the use of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. Their demands reflected a wider call for equality and freedom. Political equality may have been achieved, but do young South Africans have economic equality? Let's mark Youth Month now and commemorate June 16 coming up later this week. We're joined by my colleague, eNCA reporter Mawande Kheswa, who tells me he definitely qualifies still in Youth Month, all of 21, 22 years of age. Hello to you, Mawande. I'm joking. I know your age. I'm not going to give it away. So tell us then what is happening in your part of the world, remembering that people, young people, are trying to better their own lives. Youth is not what it used to be. It's much harder these days.
Morning. That is definitely the case, although there are a number of developments that have been made in the advent of democracy. The youth also faces its own challenges. However, the silver lining is that when we look at the youth pre-democracy, they did have challenges that they were able to overcome. And when we look at after democracy, the youth has always faced challenges, some of which they are yet to overcome, while some they have overcome. One of those people who is part of that youth is Naledi Zoni, who is an artist based in Durban. Now, Naledi, you are a woman and you're playing in a field whereby, you know, women are just coming into the industry, and those that have been in the industry have had to do much more to get recognition versus men. Can you tell us what your journey has been like with regards to being in the arts and also having milestones where you've been able to hold your own exhibitions?
Yes, so thank you for having me, first of all. I didn't study arts, so I'm self-taught. I studied retail business management at DUT. So when I came out of varsity, while I was waiting to get a job, I decided to follow my passion while I'm waiting to get a job. And in the country that we live in right now, you get to realize that maybe the job is not coming. So rather just go full into what you're doing and your passion and make it your work. So with me, I decided that with the support of my family, obviously, that I should just put all my resources and my energy into my passion. And if a job does come up, it'll get me along the way. And thank God my passion is working out as my career. So as a female, I've realized that there are not a lot of females in arts, and you have to do double the work than other, our male colleagues in order to be recognized. And sometimes people take that for granted because they say just because you're a female, people are going to listen to what you have to say or take you seriously, those things. And then you just have to prove yourself and prove your skill, especially if you haven't studied that. So it's been really hard because I've had to create capital from my, skills, and then develop my brand, and then develop my work. So with me, it's taking my passion and making it my career, which has been very difficult, especially because most of us, I think, we thought that last year was going to be our year, and then the pandemic happened and we couldn't work for a couple of months. And then now it's just trying to pick up from that, and it's been really difficult.
You mentioned some important points there. What you're facing is essentially a double-edged sword. On one side, when we look at least 74% of the South African youth being unemployed, you form part of those.
Yeah.
However, another part of that is that a lot of people view people in the arts as people who have hobbies. They don't view them per se as careers. How are you navigating the terrain that you're facing with regards to that?
Okay, so I think my education really helps me with that part because what I studied is retail business management. So I learned to sell. So with my skill, I took it, I created it as a product. So with my work, I can create a portrait for a client as a commission. I can create my own art and sell that in a gallery. I can create merchandise. I can create, my brand is on cups, it's on clothing. So I've created a product out of that I can put in stores and shelves. I don't have to be sitting here drawing and painting in order to make money. I've created different products for different markets and different income brackets. So with the person that can afford a 14,000 Rand artwork, they can get that from me. A person who can afford a 250 Rand t-shirt, they can get that from me. So that's how I've put myself in the markets and been able to survive personally.
Thank you very much for your time. That is Naledi Zondi, who is part of the youth of South Africa, facing a number of challenges, but being able to adapt and make opportunities for themselves.
Well, Mawande Kheswa, thank you very much indeed. Incredible. Just think that you haven't actually formally studied that, and you've gone on to make such an incredible career for yourself and change people's lives. Mawande, thank you very much for joining us this morning as we begin to look ahead to an incredibly important day in South Africa, that being Youth Day on the 16th of June.